It's 1979, and Richard Petty is at the pinnacle of his career. By the end of that season, he would take his 7th and final World Cup championship. That afternoon, however, would mark the changing of the guard and arrival of a new superstar in the sport. It wasn't just a race, it was the passing of the baton of NASCAR greatness. It would also be a display of some of the greatest driving ever seen in racing. The man making his mark, Darrell Waltrip. He personified the modern era athlete, fast talking, but backing up his bragging where it counted, on the racetrack. And believe me, he earned his nickname, Jaws. But he was backing up his brash talking off the track with sensational performances on it. In his 4 years on the circuit, he had already matched a few fenders with Richard, but it was the time for the King to give up a piece of his throne. The race was the Rebel 500. Southern pride and a lot more was on the line. It was to be the classic duel of champions, past and future.
Well, you can see it happening right before you. They're coming to turn 3. 2 more turns to go. Richard Petty still side by side. Donnie Ellison is still hanging in his third. Oh! Petty has got to leave it. There comes Walter down below him as Petty stood up high. Donnie Ellison trying to move past Petty into second place. They're coming to the finish line. It is Darrell Waltrip winning the Rebel 500. Petty is second.
Darrell and myself were racing, and at that time I think Donnie Ellison was third, and he was back a pretty good way. So we got to racing each other. I'd pass on one lap or on one corner, and Darrell would pass me back on the straightaway or on the other corner. We went back and forth, back and forth. We must have passed each other like a couple of times a lap for the last 3 or 4 laps.
This is back when the track was really treacherous. It was slick. They bear greased it all the time, and you really never raced anybody. You only raced the racetrack. Come down about 10 to go, and Richard hadn't really been all that good all day, but he caught me. And the first thing you know, Richard and Donnie Allison and I were in a real dogfight. And Richard and I were passing backs and forth. We passed each other 4 times on the last lap at Darlington. And, I mean, we never touched. It's not like we ran into each other, knocked each other out of the way. We literally, he passed me going down the front. I passed him in turn 1. He passed me in turn 2. We passed again going down the back. We passed again up in the middle of 3 and 4. And all the time, Donnie was sitting back here watching all this, knowing that if we screwed up, he had to race one. But anyway, we come down to the white flag, and as I said, we passed each other 4 times. And we go into the 3rd turn, and we're side by side. Richard's on the inside. He's got the preferred line. Donnie is lingering back just far enough so that when we crash, he can get through. We get to the 3rd turn. I run Richard in as far as I can run him, and then I just slam on the brakes. Richard goes in too hard. He goes up the hill. I turn hard left, get in the gas, drive between him and Donnie Allison, pass Richard because he's about to hit the wall, get the lead, win the race.
He just wound up being in the lead on the right time. If it had been another lap, I'd have probably been in the lead. It was very exciting. It was a super race. You know what I mean? Even though you run second, you teed off at yourself for letting somebody beat you, but you know you was in a race, and you know you did as good as you could, and you know you felt real good about it.
Man, that type of nose-to-tail racing just takes your breath away. So competitive, yet clean. Do you have any idea how little it would have taken for either of those guys to end up in the wall? But those guys were and are true champions.